Alright, expert says bottom is in for XRP, and here's what is next. And that's coming from our news source Times tabloid. Now, the entire market is holding its breath. For months, everybody has been asking the exact same question. When will the bleeding stop for XRP? Well, the waiting game might finally be over. A well-known market analyst on X named Bird has just released a bombshell chart that has the entire community talking. According to his deep dive, the ultimate cycle bottom for XRP is officially locked in. We are sitting right at a critical crossroads that mirrors the exact same setup that sent us flying to our all-time high of 3.65 back in 2025. If you are holding XRP right now at its current price of $1.08, you need to pay very close attention to what is happening behind the scenes. This isn't about daily noise or panic selling. This is about a massive structural shift that is wrapping up a multi-year phase of consolidation. So let's look at what this means for your bags and where the smart money is moving next. Alright, why is the multi-year wedge pattern reaching a lift-off point? To understand why the bottom might be locked in, we have to look at the massive boundaries that had kept XRP trapped for nearly 2 years. Since the late 2024, the price has been bouncing inside a giant triangle, bounded by two heavy trend lines. The top line has been copying every single rally since we surged past $3, while the bottom line has acted like an unbreakable concrete floor supporting every single pullback. Right now, this June, these two massive lines are running out of room. They are converging exactly where the price is trading today, around $1.08. When a market gets squeezed into a tight corner like this, it is like a high pressure valve getting ready to burst. The space to move sideways is completely gone. Now, here's my opinion. I have watched this exact behavior play out over multiple cycles. So my personal take is that this 1.08 level is a massive accumulation zone disguised as a boring market. The weak hands are getting tired and selling out of boredom, which is exactly what large institutions want before a major markup phase. History shows us that when everyone is tired of waiting, the real move is right around the corner. Now, can XRP really repeat the massive 2025 run to $3.65? If you look back at the history of this exact chart structure, Bird pointed out a very specific green circle from the middle of 2025. It's this one right here. Back then, XRP had an identical interaction with this exact same upper resistance line. The bears thought the asset was dead, but instead buyers stepped in, shattered the trend line, and launched the price all the way to a historic all-time high of $3.65 right here. Now, fast forward to today. The price has traveled through a long, winding road of consolidation and has landed right back at the base of this historical launch pad. The structure is incredibly clean, and the repetitive nature of this pattern is turning heads across the trading world. Now, in my view, history doesn't always repeat perfectly, but it definitely rhymes. The fact that the lower support line has held strong through multiple macro market pullbacks tells me that the buying interest at $1.08 is incredibly dense. So my personal opinion is that we are looking at a classic textbook retest before the secondary expansion wave. The floor is established, the sellers are exhausted, and the stage is set for a massive rotation of capital back into utility assets. Now, what happens once the price breaks out toward the $4 target? According to the projected path highlighted by the analyst word, once the buyer successfully push the price above the descending resistance line, the asset is expected to enter a rapid vertical climb. The primary technical objective waiting on the other side of this multi-year wedge is the heavy psychological region of $4 right here. Because the consolidation has lasted for so many months, the breakout isn't expected to be a slow grind. Instead, it is likely to be an explosive momentum shift as short sellers get caught out of position and retail FOMO kicks back into high gear. Now, here's my opinion. I strongly agree with the target area of $4, and honestly, I think that it's just the conservative milestone. My personal outlook is that when an asset consolidates for this long, the energy released during the breakout is massive. Think of it like a train building up steam in a station for 2 years. Once the tracks clear, it doesn't just crawl forward, it roars. I believe that breaking past $1.08 with a high volume will trigger an automated wave of institutional buying that will make $4 happen much faster than most people expect. Now, why does the analyst message provide the ultimate strategy? Bird concluded his analysis with a powerful reminder for the community. If I'm right, we all win. If I'm wrong, we buy more and win bigger. This perspective shifts the focus entirely away from short-term trading stress and focuses heavily on the long-term structural value of the asset. Instead of trying to guess the exact minute the breakout happens, successful market participants look at the risk to reward ratio. At $1.08, the downside is heavily protected by a multi-year trend line, while the upside opens up toward new historical highs. Now, here's my opinion. This mindset is exactly how you survive and dominate the crypto markets. My personal perspective is that at these current valuation levels, the risk of missing out on the macro move is far greater than the risk of a temporary minor dip. If the price does a final fake out down toward the lower boundaries, it is nothing more than a giant discount opportunity for smart accumulation. You have to look at the market with a bird's eye view. We are at the apex of a generational pattern, and patience is the only tool you need right now. And here's our overall conclusion. When we piece together the entire technical landscape for June 2026, the conclusion becomes very apparent. XRP has successfully completed its grueling multi-year period of distribution and consolidation inside this clean wedge pattern. The repeated testing and validation of the lower ascending support line prove that a solid macro bottom is firmly established around the 1.08 area. With the price currently trading at the absolute apex of this structural formation, a massive expansion of volatility is imminent. If the buyers successfully invalidate the descending resistance line, the pathway toward the $4 zone is completely clear of major structural obstacles. The data points to a massive conclusion. The consolidation phase is over. The bottom is in, and the next macro expansion wave for the XRP ledger is officially preparing for lunch. So make sure to keep your eyes locked on the daily close, stay disciplined with your strategy, and don't let the short-term noise shake you out before the real move begins. And this finally ends our video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on the next one, or you might just as well check this next recommended video right here.